Hello, and welcome to the Survival to Success podcast. Whether you're listening to this on your favorite podcast app or you're watching it on YouTube, today I want to talk to you about something really important that has transformed my life. And this is living life with purpose and intention. So what I want you to learn in this episode is discover the power of intention and use our will to shape our life in a fulfilling way. So what this means is that we can create our life the way we want it to be by design, by using our will and intention instead of responding to life and living by circumstance. So this is a very powerful concept that I want you to grasp, because understanding this alone has transformed my life on so many levels. So first of all, intention. So having a really clear and a powerful vow to yourself can transform your life by setting a direction. So if I say, I vow that this is going to happen, and I say it in a very powerful way, I'm setting my intention for that to happen. And when you set it in a way, not just to say, well, I just want this to happen today, or I want that to happen today. No, like set a really powerful promise or a vow to yourself and set your direction and purpose for that day based on the powerful intention that you set for yourself. So you could say, I intend to create magic for others today in my business because I'm here to help people to transform. And when you set a powerful intention like that, it's incredible what can come out of you as a result of that. And so our will, a lot of people confuse will with willpower, but willpower is something that it's almost like having a battery that just runs out after a certain amount of time. So will is the driving force behind those intentional actions. So it's almost like I have the will to live. I have the will to succeed at something. There's nothing that's going to get in my way. It's a very powerful force. So when you set that kind of force behind your actions in life, that can help you get through any obstacle, and it will keep you consistent in pushing towards your goals and being consistent for them, no matter what it is, whether it's financial, relationships, health. And so when you combine these two forces, when you combine intention, which is that powerful vow, that promise to yourself that I am going to do something, then you have the driving force behind it, which is your will. Those two forces work together very powerfully to shape your life. And naturally, if we're designing the life we want, we will have more success. We will have greater happiness, and we will have more fulfillment because we are creating the life we want. We're not just letting life happen to us and responding to crisis and responding to circumstance. No, no, no. That's not the way to live by intention. Okay? The way to live by intention is to set the intentions for what you want for your life and then use the power of your will to get there. So when I'm working with clients, I see a lot of people, just living by circumstance. They're just like reacting to life and saying, oh, well, this happened and that happened, so now I couldn't look after my health, or, I had a situation with my car broke down, or whatever the situation is. And when you live reactively or you fly by the seat of your pants through life, it literally gives you a sense of feeling a lack of control, a lack of purpose, and you totally cannot live to your full potential versus the slide before where I talked about taking charge of your life and using your intention and putting your will behind it. Then you can design your life proactively, and that gives you a very strong sense of direction And when you have that, you can achieve any goal and any dream that you have. So now the other important point here is to not live by circumstance. We need to reduce the distractions around us because we have to avoid constantly responding to problems, constantly having to pivot and change from what we want and all those other distractions by setting those clear intentions, not getting off track, by using the power of your will, maintaining your focus, and then having a clear idea of what is the priority of the goals that you want to achieve. And by knowing clearly what you want and setting your intentions in that direction, you'll be surprised how little or nothing can get in the way of that. And you'll all of a sudden realize, I have no distractions. I have nothing getting in the way. It's just like, wow, stuff's really happening for me. And this is what happens when we really start to use the powers that we have inside of us to set our intention and our will. And so when we decide to live intentionally, we actually have to put it into practice, right? So, and the reason we do this is that we want to be the designers of our life. We want to decide what we're going to do and what's going to happen next, not let life rule you, right? So by setting those intentions, we literally have a purpose. We know our priorities. We will be fulfilled because things will start to happen, and we will definitely feel a sense of control over our life. It's a very different feeling. And so when you start to feel that sense of purpose, when you live by intention and you're setting those powerful paths for yourself, you will begin to feel greater purpose. You'll feel like, wow, this is what I'm meant for. And you start to feel like life has more meaning. You start to feel more fulfilled. And I'm talking every single day. It's very powerful. And so when we set clear intentions and we say, this is what I intend for today, this is what I intend for this week, like I sit down every single morning and set my intentions. What happens is when you set clear intentions for your day, you avoid all of those constant distractions and pivots and things that get in your way, because you're setting a powerful path for yourself. And then when you know your priorities and you know what it is that's important and you start working towards it, it's amazing how all the other stuff, all those other distractions just seem to disappear. It's a very powerful to experience that, and I experienced it myself. So there's some very key things that we need to do in order to live by intention. And so one of these is that we have to trust ourselves. So having belief in ourselves and having a sense of self-worth is the foundation of living with intention, because then you have the confidence, you have the internal energy to pursue your goals and to pursue those dreams. And you just know you can do it because you absolutely have trust in yourself. And so the second thing is that we need to overcome self-doubt. And so if we doubt in ourselves, how are we going to create powerful intentions for ourselves? How are we going to make a vow saying, I'm going to do this thing and there's nothing that's going to get in my way, and using your will to get there? If we are doubting ourselves, how is that going to work, right? So this is why believing in yourself and not having self-doubt are really important to be able to live life on your terms and to create the future that you want for yourself. And so when we learn to have this self-trust, and hypnosis is a very powerful way to really gain that self-trust, when we cultivate self-trust and make confident decisions, it also allows us to stay true to those intentions and pursue our goals with greater success. Meaning, when we have those little successes, we set our intentions and stuff starts to happen and we realize that, wow, I'm more powerful than I thought. I could achieve anything I set my mind to. You begin living in possibility. It's very powerful. And then you start to have even more and more self-trust as a result. So many of you may already understand quantum physics and the energies of the universe, But whatever thoughts that we have go out into the universe. And if you can imagine it, almost like our body's like a receiver, like the universe, the signals go out like a cell phone tower, and then the phone is the receiver. It's like our body and our brain and our pineal gland. It's always happening inside the universe. And so it's a very fascinating world when you think of it in terms of energy. And in simple terms, this all connects back to what I'm talking about, and using your intention to shape your life by sending those powerful intentions out to the universe. What comes back to you is exactly what it is that you're intending. And so this energy, this quantum physics, and intention are all connected, and how we connect to the world of expansive thinking. So when we think in I'll just tell you the opposite. When we think in resignation and we think, oh, I can never do that, or oh, that person might be able to do it, but not me, and oh, I don't think I can do this, or I'm not good enough, or whatever. If we're thinking those thoughts, those are all resignation thinking, and basically it blocks us from communicating a powerful intention with the universe. In other words, it's like if you can imagine thinking those thoughts, like I can't, it's not possible for me, blah blah blah. Those thoughts, just imagine you thinking them and them dropping like a rock on the table in front of you. That's what happens, because they are thoughts of resignation. But as soon as you shift that, you shift the energy to expansive thinking, and you start to think in possibility, like anything is possible for me. Like I know this is going to happen for me, and you really start to expand your thinking. Now, all of those thoughts go out into the universe. All those energies transmit far and wide and bring possibilities back into your life. So this is why deeper, more expansive thinking is necessary to have those greater successes, happiness, and fulfillment, whether it's money, whether it's relationships, whether it's health. We have to think in possibility. We got to think big and think in possibility for us to actually succeed with this. And this is why I'm bringing quantum physics into it, because it's not just setting your intention, but understanding that you're sending out this powerful sense of possibility into the universe, which then brings the possibilities back to you. But remember, if you think in resignation, I can't, da 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 da, like this is not possible for me, all of that just drops like a rock on the table in front of you and goes nowhere. So then you will go nowhere, because you're thinking you can't go nowhere. So that's where the energy of our thoughts is absolutely critical if we want to be able to live by intention and using the power of our will. So the key thing to be able to live by intention is, number one, what are your values? What's important to you? Like, what is it that you really, really want? Be clear on that. What's most important to you? Is it your health? And if it is your health, set your intentions for your health and stay true to that. And then you will have more energy and more health than you've ever imagined, because you're setting it as a priority inside of your intentions. And so you could do the same with any area of your life, whether you're setting intention for a relationship, for money, for anything basically. But the key thing is that those intentions have to be clear and specific, so that naturally, as you send that out into the universe, you will align your actions with those goals at all times. So if my intention is to be strong, powerful, fit, healthy, and just an energetic person, then I'm sending that intention out into the world, and my actions are, I'm going to not put junk food into my body. I'm going to go exercise. I'm going to train. I'm going to become stronger all the time, because my intentions are leading me to that place, and it becomes easy. You see? So when you set clear and specific intentions, then, and you align those actions, you will just naturally stay on track because your intentions are leading you along because you're thinking in possibility. And so the other fun part of this is you can create an action plan to really get, have those things come back to you. And you can sit down with your intentions and say, like, you know, I want to be the fastest runner in my age group, and I'm going to kick butt on the track. And this, I just know that I'm going to do that, and there's nothing that's going to get in my way. And then I can say, okay, with that intention now, let me do some research on running training, how I can best train to get to that goal. And then I'm going to hit the road and I'm going to run and I'm going to get there. You see? So I'm saying my priority is I want to be able to beat my own records. I want to get to the top of the times in my age category. I have a clear idea of what it is that I want, and then I'm setting an action plan in action so that my intentions will become a reality for me. And it's fun. It is totally fun when you take the time to do this for yourself. And like I said, I'm doing this for, like I gave the example for me with my health and my running. But you could pick anything and do the same process that I just demonstrated for you. Now, let's face it, we're all humans. We all live here on Earth in the 3D world. So there will be sometimes setbacks. There will be obstacles. Like I may have a bad running day and think to myself, oh my gosh, my speed's getting slower instead of faster. Or maybe I didn't have enough protein one day, so my energy is really low, and thinking like, what has happened to me, right? So we're always going to have times where we feel like, I just don't seem to be making progress, or something got in my way. Maybe my routine got disrupted for some reason. But because you have set that powerful intention and you have a plan, you're easily going to be able to say, okay, I'm just going to like push all these things out of the way, and I'm going to get back to my intention, and it's okay. Forgive yourself. Have grace. Understand that this is part of humanness, is that we all have setbacks and challenges, because when you are committed to your intentions despite anything else, you will start to feel like you can just adapt to those obstacles. You can just say, oh, I could bounce back, boom. I could stay on track, boom, because you're already have set such a powerful intention. It will lead you along. So this is how powerful this is. And so as we are practicing this, as we experience setbacks and obstacles, and we bounce back and we jump back into what it is that we're working on, and we be resilient and we're adapting, once you practice this, you will become actually more and more resilient for everything else that you set your intentions for. It's almost like building a muscle. It's like getting stronger, so that even when harder challenges come up, you can just navigate those, and you can adapt and bounce back and get through those, because you still have your sense of purpose and your direction that you have already set using your intention and the power of your will. Just think about that for a moment. So I hope that you have really seen that when you live by intention, it has a powerful impact on your life, instead of rolling with the punches and living by circumstance and living by emotions. That, oh, I'm sad today, so I'm not going to work out. Or, oh, I'm angry at this, so now I have a reason not to do my exercises, whatever. Instead of always responding to your emotions and circumstances and people and this and that, once you begin to live intentionally and you set that intention and use your will to set those powerful paths for yourself to achieve anything you want, Now, it's important that you stop, that you pause, and just realize how rewarding and fulfilling this way of living really is, and celebrate those little successes. Celebrate bouncing back, celebrate being able to be resilient and realize a circumstance happened and you were able to just bounce over it the next time, right? And the important thing is too, don't just say, okay, I'll be happy when. Like if I was to say, I'll be happy when I'm the top runner and I achieve first place in my class and I can run this many miles an hour, then I'll be happy. No, that's not the way to do it. I have to say, this is really exciting. I have this running plan and I'm like really slowly making little steps. I'm tracking on my Apple Watch and I'm making like these little strides towards my goal each and every week, right? And I can embrace the journey and say, this is fun. This is fun to make progress on what it is that I'm working towards. So this is why remembering that the journey to whatever it is that you're working towards is just as important as the final goal, right? And we can experience every moment. We can feel that sense of purpose. We can feel the excitement and the sense of meaning towards what it is that we're working towards. And hey, my example is just running a race. That's a very small thing, whereas you can pick anything for yourself, right? And now what I want you to do is to consider starting this way of living now. It has such a positive impact on your life, and it has an impact on other people in your life. Like once people start to see you living by intention and not being affected by circumstances and people and whatever, and that you can roll with the punches, it really gives you an opportunity to live a completely new way. It's almost like a completely new dimension of personal growth, a whole new level of fulfillment and actually having success in your life. So I encourage you to consider beginning to start living intentionally and using the power of your will to make things happen in your life. And honestly, the way I do it is I have a journal, and every single morning I sit down with my journal and I set my intentions for the day. Every single Sunday night I sit down and I set my intentions for the week. Who do I have to be to make what I need to happen for me this week? And if I'm going to be that person, what does that person who's being committed need to do this week in order to get me closer to that goal, right? And in the end, I'm going to have what it is that I'm working towards, right? So every single week I sit down and do that, and I set the powerful intentions for the week, for the day, and then I go out into the world and I just live by that way. So that way, things like aggravations and people and irritations and all the things that used to happen in my life, they don't even happen anymore. And if they do, it's very rare, and I can just roll with it and just let it flow off my back like water off a duck's back. So it's very powerful once you practice this way of living and you become more and more resilient. So I also invite you to consider connecting with me as a health coach and hypnotist, because health is the foundation, is the beginning of all change. So if you're in a place of your life where you're feeling like you're boggled up, or you're feeling like you need to hit the reset button, you're just kind of feeling like, I need to make a change in my life. Health is the foundation of all transformation. So I encourage all of my clients to begin their work with me by doing the 8-week reset for life, because that 8-week reset is going to give you, there is hypnosis, there is nutrition challenges, and it's very easy step-by-step process to go through to actually completely reset your health. And this is like a domino effect. That is like the big domino. If you imagine a massive domino on this big line of dominoes for all the transformations in your life, once you knock down that big domino of health and you become to get into your most optimal health, so many other things in your life begin to change. Your money, your relationships, your connections with people, your satisfaction, your happiness. So many things change by changing your health as the foundation. So if you want to get into my world and begin working with me, you can sign up at needreset.com, sign up with your name and email address, and you will get a quiz with 10 different points, and you can kind of see how many of those points that you have, and that will tell you even more how much you need to have this 8-week reset with me. And then as a result of signing up, you will get an ebook, which is basically a book that is a beginner's guide to detoxification. And so it takes you through all the ways to begin to detoxify your mind and your body, to begin to feel better, healthier, and ready for some of the bigger transformations in your life. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, please take the time to like this video and subscribe to my channel. And I really appreciate you being here, spending this time with me, and I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you on the next episode.